This episode of Nintendo Pow Block is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia or search for us on the Patreon app on your smart device. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host and lots excited Eddie V. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Derrick. Hello, good sir.
Hello, it's time to podcast.
We are we are back in the building for another episode of some fun pow blocking. How have you been, Corey? How was your week?
My week? Well, it's Monday, so it's fine. No, it's been really busy, man. Riley's first day of kindergarten was today. And then this weekend we went to the Great Lakes Science Center, which was fun because they have a big dinosaur exhibit and a big... NASA has like a big thing up here because John Glenn is from here, which, first astronaut to orbit the Earth. So that was fun. And then that's kind of it, really. Last week was super busy, man. I was like, man, by Thursday I was just like, I was done. I was toast, but I still had a day at work, so I had to like keep going. But other than that, it's going okay, I suppose. How are you, buddy?
It's going good. Thursday I started work at another store. So right now I have 5 keys for 5 different stores.
You gotta stop, man. You gotta find something new.
So I am this one is going to be like just for 2 weeks. Because the place that I'm working at, they're getting their floors done. And so their store manager is working. And I think some of the shifties have gone back to school. And like one of them works in the afternoon and stuff. And then I think some other people are probably helping for right now till they hire some more people and everything. But I've worked at this store before. So it's nothing like too hard or anything and stuff. But yeah, pretty much worked this weekend, had no problem. I do got something to talk about for Snacktendo.
Ooh.
Yeah, and pretty much that's it. It's been a very low key because of kids going back to school and me just going back and forth with different stores. And I like our shipping stuff is going to be changing after Labor Day. So I have to figure out how all of that is going to go because I think I should be back to my store full time without like splitting the different stores. I think like the week after Labor Day.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neat. Fun. Super fun. And how do I have more energy than you?
You know what?
Wake up.
Probably because it's like 9 something and I was watching YouTube when my body gets like super relaxed. It's ready
I saw
to go
you.
night
You were
night.
sleeping when I got on the call.
No, I was watching
you.
Mega Man.
I saw you.
Well, yes, you did see me. I did catch it, but I had my Xbox headphones on, so I was like waiting for you. It's because I got on that like at 7:20. My time.
Well, I said almost.
Well, yeah, I
I don't know. You know what? Semantics. Tomato, tomato. Potato,
you said
potato.
you said
Mayo.
almost. Well, wow, you said almost, and then you said hi,
I did.
and then you
Said
said
hello.
I'm on my way there, and then you just appeared. Like, yeah, you're a parent, you're doing other stuff. I understand. Wasn't worried.
Well, excuse
Hmm.
me. I sneezed. I had to mute myself.
I do know that this coming Thursday I'm gonna pre-download Starfield for Series X. Um, and it really feels like Microsoft is going hard with the promotion of this game, of Starfield. It's been a while since they did that, in a sense.
Yeah,
And
man.
and the reason,
Starfield, man.
yeah,
That game's gonna be massive.
the reviews are dropping, or by the time you guys see this, the reviews have dropped. So we pretty much would know it. I know Sea of Stars got some really good ratings, a lot of tens
Yeah,
and nines and
yeah. I
stuff.
think the lowest I saw was IGN, and they gave it an 8.
Eight, yeah.
Yeah.
I know I won't be getting that until Friday. But that is good. It's good to see. Um, I really wasn't feeling the demo because I think I just didn't. There was just some stuff I didn't understand. So I think
Hmm.
playing this one from the beginning, once they start teaching systems and everything, I'd be like, okay, now I got it. Now I can play this game and stuff.
Yeah, I think here's the thing about Sea of Stars. It looks like a game I really, really, really want to be excited for, but I also
Mhm.
know it's a game that I'm like that genre and that kind of like I don't know, man. There's some there. I just know I don't really know how to explain it. It's a game that looks really awesome. The combat looks awesome. The world and the art looks awesome, and I'm really excited. But also, I know it's a game that in a genre that I don't really lean towards. Right? Like I
Mhm.
really, it's the it's the indie conundrum with me, right? Where like I respect and really want to support indie developers, right? But at the end of the day, there's just not a lot of indie games that grab me. It takes a really special one, right? Like Shovel Knight or Axiom Verge or N plus plus or
Mhm.
Death's Door was like the last kind of major indie game that I played, right?
Which
Like,
is funny. I just brought that on Xbox
mm,
for like $8.
yeah. Uh, so like Sea of Stars is, I mean, Crosscode. I mean, the thing I think I can compare it to the most in terms of look is Crosscode.
Mhm.
Crosscode and Unsighted were two that I like really wanted to enjoy. I enjoyed Crosscode quite a bit, but I never finished it. But yeah, Sea of Stars, man. I'm glad it's getting great reviews. I know it's going to do well. I know it's on PlayStation Plus and uh, and Game Pass,
Game
so
Pass.
I'm sure the cost of the game has been covered and more. And then obviously on Switch and Steam, it's going to just do bonkers numbers. I think
Yeah,
so.
I think. Well, I know Sea of Stars was first shown on Switch. I think for Nintendo. I think it was a Nintendo Direct when they first announced it, and then it started to get announced that it was coming to everything in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I'm not
So
100% sure where it started, but um,
it
I'm ex-
was a. I know it was a indie direct or a Nintendo direct. But I think it was a Nintendo direct. That's when it first got announced.
mhm.
So at the time, it was a quote unquote Nintendo exclusive. Um, but we were surprised that it would be on all the platforms and stuff.
I mean, I'm not surprised it's on all the platforms. I'm surprised that Xbox got a copy or got it because indie
Mm-hmm.
games really like to skip Xbox for some reason,
Oh yeah,
which sucks in a lot of ways as an Xbox fan. But you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm really happy for the developer. I'm excited to see how people like it. I mean,
Mhm.
like I said, I'm gonna check it out, and if I really like it, I'll end up buying it. But it's on Game Pass, so I'm gonna try it out there first, which I think is the smart move financially.
It's where people are going to be picking it up and try to finish the game before Starfield comes
I
out.
know. I don't
Uh,
really know how long this game is though. Did they? Is there a time to beat listed anywhere? Do you know?
um, I haven't checked the reviews for it, only just seen the scores.
Yeah.
Uh,
By the way, everybody, the day we're recording this, it's the day before Sea of Stars comes out, so it's it'll
yeah,
be out, and people have probably already beaten it by the time you hear this. But I just want everybody to get a heads up on like the day we're recording this.
I think it's probably like I want to say maybe a 25 to 30 hour RPG. Um, depending on people doing side quests and the level up stuff. So I think the playthrough is kind of like a typical 20, 25. Because if this is an indie game, it's definitely not a 40 hour RPG unless you're trying to do everything.
Yeah,
Um, so, so,
yeah, we'll
um,
see. Excited though.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Starfield, though, I am waiting to see the reviews for it. And I think they said it's about 30 hours
The
for
main
Starfield.
story,
Yeah.
but also like they said that people are 160 hours in and still haven't progressed the story. So uh, it's going to be an interesting one to watch for sure. I mean, I definitely think it's going to do like by the time the run is all said and done, I definitely think it's going to be like
Mhm.
a Skyrim esque experience where people are still playing it, modding it, uh, all that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, people love their Bethesda games.
Yes. Well, this I really wonder, just like from Nintendo themselves, because we have Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Super Mario RPG coming out, along with the Pokemon DLC. I really wonder how long those games are going to be. Like, how long is Super Mario Wonder is going to be? How long is this remake of Super Mario RPG? You know, in case I don't know if they removed anything, if they like fastened some stuff. Like, I really wonder how long these games are going to be. I know Spider Man probably going to be like 30 some hours because they love to do 15,000 cutscenes and the chase parts. You know, in Insomniac, you're going to be redoing those same chase parts because they don't
Well,
somehow the controls always keep being a mess.
yeah, I mean, I think Mario Wonder is going to be like a. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like a hey, if you want to beat the game, it's like 8 hours, but if you want 100%, it's like 25 or 30, right? To get all the probably coins or flowers or whatever you're
Mhm.
collecting this time. So, and I imagine Mario RPG can't be that much different than the original, right? I mean, I'm just assuming that, but I can't imagine they changed that much or anything really, except for a graphical update. I mean, they might have added like some sort of mode or something, but
Mm.
at the end of the day, you're getting a graphical remake of one of the Super Nintendo's best RPGs. So
Yeah,
we'll
it's
see.
just yeah, we will. I think we definitely will. Uh, but Corey, I think it's time for us to get into Snacktendo, and I'm going to start this one because
Mm,
I had Domino's
mm,
Sunday, and I tried their cheesy bread with pepperoni in it.
mm.
Um, really good. I definitely got it with marinara sauce to dip it in. Because I just like as much as that bread is good and all the cheese and the pepperoni is, it's still kind of dry and a little bit thick, and the marinara sauce loosens it up a little and gives it a little bit more flavor. But it
Right.
really was good. Um, and let's see.
Domino's Pizza Man. I've already decided that on Saturday I'm going to get some pizza. I think, and I'm going to do the bacon and jalapeno pizza. I've decided
Ooh,
that's what I'm going to do.
yeah,
I wanted to do it the last time, but
mhm.
I didn't. So
I'm working 12 to 8 Saturday, so I might join you and order some Domino's. Um, like just order it before I leave for work, and then just go pick it up and everything. Um, since I kind of been like not banned but talked about Pizza Hut
no, I just like to
and
mess with you.
everything.
But
Uh,
Pizza Hut's the wrong choice. Yeah, man. I don't know,
uh,
man. I had pizza the other day, and I've just been craving pizza like every day now. I gotta stop.
I I had that last month in July. Like I was doing Domino's almost like 4 times a week and everything.
Jeez.
Just different stuff. Well, for some of it, it was like the pasta bowl or the sandwich, and then like at 11 o'clock late at night, you know, whether I got done podcasting or something, I'd be like, let me get a supreme pizza from Domino's because I don't feel like driving and everything, and I don't feel like cooking. And I would order it, and they would come right to my house. It was funny. One of them, I forgot to. Somehow the site was messed up, so I couldn't tip them, and I just gave the guy $5 because a lady gave me $5 because I helped her with something, and I told her I couldn't take it, and she put it in my hand and said, "You take it." She walked out, so I took the $5 and then just transferred what she gave to me to him and everything. And I apologized to him and everything. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Something happened with our website where I couldn't tip you, so here's a $5 tip and everything. He's just like, oh, thank you. So
Nice.
he's just like, I was just doing my job, and Domino's is just like 3 blocks from your house. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still,
Yeah. Well, it kind of sucks because like I know they do that delivery fee, right? But like
yeah,
that money doesn't go to the driver, which is awful. So like, yeah, I don't know. Tip your delivery people, everybody, because that delivery
yes.
fee is some BS and doesn't go to the driver. So, as somebody
Hmm.
who used to be work at a pizza place, doesn't go. So,
Yeah, last thing, everybody, I tried this white and milk chocolate ice cream from Baskin Robbins. Right now, Baskin Robbins is the only thing that got the rainbow sherbet because I've been eating that on some of the hot nights uh, and everything. But like, I think I brought it all at my nearest at my local grocery store. So I was just like, I'll try something else, and it was okay. It wasn't bad or anything. Just like, I know not to let this melt or anything because if the flavors get together, milk chocolate and white chocolate do not taste good together and
yeah,
everything. So, um, I also, I think tomorrow when I go back to the other store, um, I'm going to try some different flavor Red Bulls, which would probably be one. I want to try the yellow one, the tropical one, because only Red Bull I tried was the original one, the blue and silver, um, and I just don't like the taste. So I wonder if these flavored Red Bulls are going to be going to taste good. Other than that, I'm gonna see if they got some cherry slushy energy drink or something.
nice.
But Corey, what have you been stacking on?
All right, Ed. I had a massive burrito this weekend. We went to Casa del Rio,
Nice.
and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a burrito. I couldn't decide between Casa del Rio and Chipotle. But let me tell you, I made the best decision. Dude, this thing was the biggest burrito I've ever gotten from there.
Is it
Like,
bigger like than usual?
yeah, like it was hanging off the plate. There was
Ooh.
3 pieces of foil on this thing to keep it wrapped up. I unwrap
They
it,
supersized it.
I guess. I unwrapped it, dude, and it was like literally falling apart as I was unwrapping it, which was like I eat their burritos are so big that I eat it with a fork anyway, so it really doesn't matter
Mm.
to me. Um, But man, dude, they stuffed that thing full of meat and cheese and vegetables. And dude, I got the medium salsa because the last time the hot salsa was like burning my mouth. I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy
Ah,
my next burrito. Uh, but man, I got the chorizo chicken, which is like the spicy chicken sausage mix,
yeah.
and I got both. I got both cheeses. Oh man, and I got extra cheese, dude. It was so good, man. It was so good. I love
What
that place.
what kind of rice do they use?
Um, they use I mean the just the orange generic Spanish rice. They call it
Okay.
Mexican rice.
Nice. Yeah.
But I mean, you can also get like pinto beans. I should have got pinto beans on it, like pinto beans, black beans, and refried beans. I usually get refried beans on that on their burritos. But um,
Okay.
yeah, man, it was really good, and I devoured that thing, man. It was gone, like man. And then like
I,
I got really fat and ate some of my wife's leftovers because her taco salad was too big. And
uh,
I gotta tell you, man, their crispy shells for their taco salad was so good, so good,
ooh,
man.
I could just picture the crispness.
Oh,
Like
dude,
when you bite into it, it's just like a nice crunch to it.
yeah, dude, it's so good. Their taco shells are so good, and the fact that like they stay crispy with the salad, even though my wife
Mhm.
had smothered it in like sour cream and cheese and all this other stuff. It's so good, man. It's really good. Highly recommended. Casa del Rio Express, sponsor the show, please. Thanks. Just kidding. I'll buy your food anyway. But if you want to sponsor the show, I will not. I will not stop you.
You want
Casa del Rio
exactly?
Express.
We will not. We will make a commercial for it and have it all ready to go.
Look, I don't even want any money. If I can just get a "you get to eat here for free" card, then it's good enough for me. It'll cost you like I don't know, $300 a year. Okay, I know your employees probably eat that in like 2 weeks. So, uh,
I,
man,
I
now I'm
really
thinking
want to.
about it. What?
I really want to go there. Like I gonna come down, see you, and fulfill our dream of getting a burrito from there.
Oh man, dude, it's so good. Oh man, Ed, I'm thinking about it now. Oh, I also had like probably 10 chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, nice. But which
Uh,
kind though?
no, they're the Aldi off-brand Chips Ahoy.
Oh,
I think they're just called chocolate chip with an exclamation point.
yeah, it is. Look, I'm not trust me, not knocking Aldi at all for their sweets or their cookies. Shoot, their chocolate chip, like I said, they chocolate chip, their oatmeal. I don't know if they still do the frosted oatmeal cookies or the frosted cookies, but man, back in the 80s and part of the 90s, that was the like if you're talking about just a generic kind of cookie or a cheap cookie, Aldi's was the best.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's what I snacked on, Ed. Snacking it up. It's really good.
All all right. Well, everybody, it's time for playing with power. Corey, what have you been playing with power? Because mine is not long.
Yeah, mine's not really that long either. I didn't really play Switch at all this week. I played.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, I just I don't know, man. I just there's like I know I still want to play Pikmin 4, but I don't feel like playing Pikmin 4 right now.
Mhm.
And there's just nothing really grabbing me on Switch right now. Zelda kind of like spent me on playing Switch for a while. So I've been playing. I've been playing Plague Tale: Innocence on Xbox. I'm about halfway through. I've been playing a chapter a night because like it's a great game and I love it, but 40 to 45 minutes to complete a chapter is about as much as I can handle in one night. Just because like I get too frustrated with the stealth and it just
Yeah.
feels good to play it like an episodic TV show almost, right? And so I've been playing that. I really love Amicia and Hugo's relationship. I think it's so sweet and so obviously the background of the story and the where it's set and how it's it's very dark and very gross and gruesome and but the sibling relationship is really nice to see. So I've been playing that. I I also have been. I played a little. I actually played a little bit of Halo last week. Not much, but I wanted to check out the new season, and it's a cyber something season, so everything's like neon pink and teal and lasers and stuff like that. And then they
Yeah.
did a lot of they've really incorporated Forge really well into the game. Like they've chosen Forge maps, especially like remakes of older maps into the playlists. And Halo's still great. Like I understand the complaints from a game as a service perspective, but like the game still plays really well. The levels are great. The armor designs are pretty cool if you've unlocked most of them. Although I just kind of play with the generic, not generic, but you know what I mean. Like
Mhm.
I don't really care what my character looks like. You're in first person, right? I don't care. When the new season comes out, I will put on the new armor and just roll with it. So that's been fun. And then the new season of Destiny started, season of the Witch, and it is really good, really dark, and really good.
I thought
I'm
they already had one of those. Season
They
of the
had the
Witch.
Witch. The Witch Queen was the expansion last year. This is Season of the Witch, which revolves around telling the story of Eris Morn, the character with the
Uh,
three green eyes,
mhm.
wielding hive magic and pretty much turning herself into a hive god. Um, the rumor is she's going to be the hive god of vengeance and become the new hive queen. Um,
And this was in the direct they had, which I
yeah,
still need to watch. I still need to watch
yeah,
that presentation.
yeah. It's the season is really good. The events are really fun. The the settings are really great, and a lot of great character interactions. Imaru, the Seventh Ghost, is back, and he's really like kind of a jerk to keep it PG. um, and so I think we're gonna. I think I think what the situation is going to be is that Eris is going to turn into the hive god of vengeance, which is the rumor, and we're going to resurrect Savathun, which we killed in the Witch Queen, but her ghost is still alive, so she's technically can be revived at any time, as long as the ghost wills it. And then we're going to see a big battle between Savathun, Eris, and Zivu Wrath, which is the third Hive sister, uh,
Mhm.
and it's really good, man. I mean, I took most of last season off, which was still a great season. I really enjoyed what I played of last season, but I really only did
Yeah.
the story bits and then just kind of checked out because there's so many good games over the last, you know, 4 or 5 months that I had to check out, and it
Yeah.
really like taking that season kind of off, except for the story bits, and coming back this season like refreshed and ready to play some Destiny was like I don't know. It felt really good to get back into it. So that's what I've been playing. What are you playing in?
Be- Before I get into what I've been playing, are they doing the Halloween thing this started October 1st?
The Festival of the
Are
Lost
they?
is coming. We don't know when it's starting. I assume
So
it's going to
they
start sometime in like let's see. Seasonal events usually last about. It'll start after the. Um, they'll probably put a twab up about it.
okay.
Probably sometime closer to the end of the seasonal story, which is 7 weeks, and we're a week down. So as of this recording, so week 2 starts tomorrow, uh, and there's 7 weeks of story. So probably somewhere around week 5 or 6, they'll tell you when it's starting. It usually starts about a week after the story ends.
Hmm.
Uh, so
Okay.
yeah.
And second question before
Mhm.
before I go, because this just came to my mind when Destiny 2 first started. that end boss that you fight, he's like no more in the story, right? That's it. That was just it for him, correct?
And like in Vanilla Destiny 2, like
Yes.
the first, like right when it came out.
Yes.
Yeah, Gall's dead. He's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, the when during Season of the Haunted last year, which was the second season of the Witch Queen, uh, Gall came back as a nightmare in Season of the Haunted, but he's been dead since the end of that
Just
campaign.
it. Okay.
We are still dealing
Well,
with parts of of his kind of like attack, though, in a lot of ways. But
oh, okay. Well, for me, everybody, like Corey, I didn't play my Switch and stuff. I did cut it on so I could just see what games needed updates and stuff and everything. And that's something that they need. I think we talked about this, but I hope they do like just an automatic update for games that you buy digitally and everything. Like because Xbox does it, which is great. That you like automatically get the update and stuff. And if it needs to update, normally it'll just cut on. And if you check the queue, it'd be like, okay, these updates are ready to go. All you gotta do is press the button and then bam, start updating.
mhm.
Um, so I finished Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossal. Like I said, I beat it on PlayStation 4 already. But I wanted to play it since I bought the collection on Xbox. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna start with this with the second one, and it's still fun. It's I think what I like about this Wolfenstein, like Wolfenstein 2, is that it really is just run and gun and everything. And I think because of me playing it on easy and upgrading my weapons, and knowing how things go, it just made going through the game faster. It still took me about 4 or 5 days to beat, so pretty much a week. Um, but I did have fun with it. I'm just like, yeah, this is really good, and I'm going to start one, and then do the new blood, and then I'll do the one with the girls and the young blood. I'll do that.
Uh-huh.
But
If you
I
play, man,
oh go ahead.
sorry. I was going to say if you, I would really like to play the Wolfenstein series on Xbox. Like I played 2 on Switch when we were covering it, right?
Mm,
And this was the only thing we were
yeah.
doing. But I would really like to play that whole series again, and I would like to play play Youngblood co-op at some point.
Wait, let me know if you're down for it. I'm down for it.
Yeah, um,
And
yeah,
everything. Uh,
we'll do it at some point. I think.
yeah, I picked up Death's Door finally on Xbox. I think I'm gonna try to 100% it. So I gotta check all the achievements for that one. That one shouldn't be too hard. Um, I did pick up a game called Blue Fire. It's free with Games with Gold. It's like a Zelda S kind. It's very indie. Um,
You said it's
it's
Zelda-esque.
yeah,
Oh, I thought it was a
because
platformer.
it's no, it's like a 3D adventure game. It has like dungeons and currency. It doesn't have a map on the screen, and you do get like powers and stuff. What I don't like is that you can't double jump when it feels like you really need a double jump for this game.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's it's okay. Like I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, this is 2 Yoshi coins out of 5 with a bag of Yoshi's cookies for the NES game. Um,
Yoshi's cookies.
so uh but I'm on the second chapter of Like a Dragon Ishan. Um and I'm really enjoying that. So I'll be hopping into that for a bit, and then I finally South of the Circle it downloaded on my system. So I'm going to be playing that this weekend. Um, because, like I said, the chill hop music took the game's soundtrack, and then they made like some chill hop beats to it. So, and they said it's a good adventure game. They got good ratings. So, like I said, I'm be playing that this weekend. And also I'll be watching The Wizard. Um, so
Yeah, I need to do that.
yeah. So I was gonna do it Friday, but I was just like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
I
no,
was
I
just
get it.
like, dude, I just wanted to rest Friday, and that's what I sure enough did.
I get it, man. I get it.
So, uh, but everybody, that's it for playing with Power. You know, I, I think probably for a while it may just be a lot of Xbox with some backlog games for Switch,
Uh-huh.
um, here and there, uh, because like we said, there is a lot dropping for Nintendo, but the focus really now is on Xbox. Where PlayStation really surprisingly, and this may just be my Twitter feed. A lot of people have been playing Armored Core, but it's been a PlayStation 5 version. And I know there is a Series X version, but I'm not seeing nobody playing it on that system. And I wonder is it if it's because people are gearing up for Starfield, so they're trying to finish up a lot of games. Definitely like with Baldur's Gate and stuff.
Yeah.
You mentioned
Well,
You mentioned Halo.
no, go
Oh,
ahead. Sorry.
yeah, you mentioned Halo, Corey, and I'm thinking to let everybody know I've never beat the trilogy of Halo. I never beat 1, 2, or 3. I got to the last stage for 1, and the controls for the car was maybe just quit that game. Um, I
Oh, the
played 2 and
Warthog,
I
you
played
have like
3.
the amazing driving of the Warthog
Uh,
in one.
with the garbage can full of rocks
Uh,
vehicle. So I'm thinking of probably taking some games off, like because I think I took control off my Series X. But I
yeah.
think I think what I'm gonna try to do is finish Like a Dragon, so I could get that off, and then throw Halo on, so I can play the fresh trilogy. Because like I said, I, I think I I really have it's gonna be a weird feeling because I just think it's gonna happen. It's gonna be the Gears thing where I get it, even though I did get Halo back in the day. I'm just like okay, because that helped me get an Xbox. But I'm like okay, I'm gonna see what 2 and 3 is about, and I think replaying Halo 1, 2, and 3 back to back to back would
Uh-huh.
help me understand why people love it. Like I understand Gears, and I
Uh-huh.
think
Well, that's because Gears
Gears.
hasn't changed in 20 years. Really.
Well, yeah, but I think Gears was better on Xbox One than 360.
Well, I mean, 4 and 5 are like, I mean, one essentially was like a proof of concept for a cover-based
Mm-hmm.
shooter. Nobody had like really done one before. I mean, you had like Kill Switch and I mean, the two shooters that Cliff Blazinski always points to are Kill Switch and Resident Evil 4 as
Resident Evil
inspiration.
4.
But like,
Yeah,
nobody had really done the whole, roadie run, stay low, cover-based shooter, stay in cover type shooter before, right? I mean,
yeah,
that was pretty. If it wasn't the first one, it was the best one, right? I mean, Gears One is still like Gears One is why I bought an Xbox 360. So
it got a 10 from Dan Shu from EGM. Like he was
it's
the
an
editor in chief, and everybody's like, "Whoa,
it's an amazing video game. I still think Gears One and Two and Three to an extent, but Gears One and Two are like amazing video games. I mean, I think a lot of people look at Gears and they think like meathead bro shooter, right? But like
mm-hmm.
once you start getting into the series, like 2 and 3 are like really strong, heartfelt stories. And then
Yeah."
obviously you get into 4, and it's kind of like a soft reboot, but still follows the. It's like the God of War thing, where like 4 is a good place to jump on if you've never played.
Four
Uh,
four is a mess of a game, but five, but it is still good. Mess of a game in that they tried to go for something, and that something they threw completely in the trash can, and it became something else. And then when you get the five, because I still think five is the best.
Oh yeah.
When you get the five, you get all those pieces that which makes it a masterpiece. Like you get a great story.
Uh-huh.
You get some great action. Like the some of the fights in there are really engaging. It's more I feel like five is more cohesive,
Uh-huh.
um, in the sense, and four was just like they were going for something where it's supposed to be telling Kate's story. Uh but
Yeah.
all of
If I would
that
have,
got thrown out.
yeah, if I would
Go
have
ahead.
changed any, if I would have changed anything about four, four was very, very. I hear the comparison a lot, and I don't disagree with when Force Awakens came out. It was very like when Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out. It was very. I don't want to say copy paste A New Hope, but it had a lot of elements, right? Like, oh, a
Hmm.
super planet death weapon and a dark, obviously like Kylo Ren was very equivalent to Darth Vader, very scary, but and you saw the X-wings do the trench run, and you had the orphan child become it was very very New Hope in that way. And Gears was the same way. It was very safe. I do like how they brought back all the old characters in some way that wasn't like very ham-fisted, right? Like when Cole comes back or when Baird comes back, like when you're doing the big mech, when you get into the mechs, which I didn't really
Hmm.
care for that part, but like it was really cool that Baird is kind of like the scientist of the team now, and like Marcus, like Marcus is a great character in 4 and 5. Like
Yes.
he I really think 5 is incredible. My only complaint about 5, and like it's not really a complaint, but like I don't really feel like it needed to be. The Acts 2 and 4 are kind of semi-open world games, right? Where like there's little alcoves where you basically play tiny Gears of War levels, and you go back out into the open world. And it's kind of
Hmm.
the open world is very empty to a point. Uh, but 5, man, if I would have changed anything about 4, I would have had you play as Kate the whole time because it's her
Yeah.
story, right? And I get like, oh, you're playing Marcus's son, and you played as Marcus through the entire trilogy, and like, I think at the time it made sense, but I think if you went back, you could. I think it would have been nice to play as Kate, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think like because I even do this with sometimes some Nintendo games. Like I remember there was a time, and I played Mario 1, 2, and 3. Like, but
Mhm.
I've never played them back to back to and stuff. And I was just like, you know what? Let me do a full run um by doing all the levels in the Mario games. And I did it. And I was just like, man, that took me about 2, 3 weeks and stuff because even though there's no save feature for them, it took me a long time because like doing levels that I've haven't done in a long time. It's like it gets very challenging and you don't remember how the level was designed
Mhm.
and everything. I want I still need to do Sonic 3 after Sonic 2 because I played Sonic 3 but never beat it. But
I've never beaten
also
Sonic
did.
3 either. Now that I think about it, I
Hmm,
think I've only ever beaten the first Sonic game, which is arguably the
I
hardest.
I beat 1 and 2. And you know what? It's only hard if you're trying to get all the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
Um, and with 1 and 2, that's what I did. I did all the Chaos Emeralds. Even man, I still haven't beat Sonic Adventures for Dreamcast. And it's every time I get to that last boss, that boss fight design is just it's confusing. and I keep dying in it, and I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? And
Mhm.
everything. Um, Sorry, everybody, for that that sidetrack. Uh, but I guess we might as well get into Femi news. Corey, take it away.
All right, I mean, there's not a lot of news this week, so this section might be pretty quick. But our first news story is Nintendo Switch has outsold the Wii in the U.S., gaining ground on the PS2 for the top spot in total worldwide sales. Uh, Pretty big milestone. I know the Wii was really popular. I think it was the most popular in the United States, and so yeah, the Switch passing it was is a pretty big deal. So I don't know. How do you feel about that, Ed?
Um, I'm excited. That's great that it passed the Wii. And I think they said there are only 5 million more doing PS2 in America, I think, or maybe Japan. It's one of the countries. I think they said, oh, it may be in the US. I think if they do pass 5 million more, they will beat PS2 in America with Switch.
Mhm.
um so I'm happy that they're doing, I'm happy they're doing it. um I think they're going to put out more collectible versions of Switch OLED. Um, so we probably is going to have another strong Switch. We might have strong Switch sales, I think, until up until next year. Definitely with
Yeah,
all of these great games coming out and stuff. And I know everybody's looking forward to the next gen announcement and stuff. But I think with the sale of Switch, whether it's the light or the OLED, I have a feeling that Nintendo's waiting for the right time, and hopefully, I could see them. I literally could see if it gets past the total sales of the PS2. Like if it surpasses it, then they're gonna be like, okay, now it's time to announce our next system.
yeah. Man, it's so weird talking about Nintendo's next system because the Switch still feels like it feels so relevant. It's not like the Wii or the Wii U where like the first 2 or 3 years were good to great, right? I mean, obviously the Wii
Mhm.
U's first couple years weren't great, but like what I mean. Like there was a lot of games coming out. There was stuff to be excited for. Uh, but like the last couple years they were on the market, you're like, okay, I'm ready for something new from Nintendo. What's their next system going to be? The Switch is still selling, and there's still great games coming out to the point where it's like it still doesn't feel like next gen is coming soon, and it is, right? I mean, like from all intents and purposes, it kind of feels like it's right around the corner, and it's like I don't feel like it is like I used to with other consoles, right?
Mhm.
Like I just don't feel like next gen is coming. Granted, I would love a more powerful Switch, but like right now, it doesn't feel like it, and I still think this system is going to have a tail for a long time.
Well,
And not only for like kids and stuff, right? Because like obviously the Switch Lite is just a perfect machine for a kid, and I'm sure
yeah.
there's going to be a price drop coming at some point. Maybe early next year to get those consoles off the shelf to make room
Mhm.
for the new stuff. But like, even in PlayStation 2 sold for almost a decade after in developing countries and countries with high tech tariffs, like Brazil for one. Like the PlayStation 2, like I don't know if you guys have read up on this, but Brazil had for a long time had a huge Sega Genesis market, right? Because the
Yeah.
consoles they couldn't sell, they shipped there, and like people were still playing Sega Genesis when like PS2 and and Xbox and GameCube were out.
That's the people who made Blazing Chrome. Uh, why it feels like a Contra game played on the Genesis is because that's what they grew up on.
Yeah,
When they were able to finally afford, because like the Sega Genesis, I think was like $400, $500 in Brazil. Like it was,
yeah, it was
gaming in
ridiculous.
Brazil was expensive.
It still
So,
is.
well, yes. So it's gonna be like, I think if let's just say if Switch goes into Brazil and that helps the numbers of that system sell, you know, it definitely would the amount of games that's on Switch. Like, I don't think even think they'll get next gen until maybe shoot 10 years after the next gen system release.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, the Switch is going to sell for a long time. I totally expect
Hmm.
it to sell for a long time, and I think at the end of the day, it's going to catch PlayStation 2, and that'll be an exciting kind of thing for Nintendo fans. I think for Nintendo, especially coming off the Wii U, having their worst console, turning around and having the best selling console of all time, will be a great flag to plant in their, you know, whatever you want to say. So I'm looking forward to that. I commend Nintendo for really making a console that is it's it's an amazing console. I can't wait to see what they do next. I hope the next console is backwards compatible. That's the only thing, right? But no sense in worrying about that now.
I, I I think we may have to do an expansion pass sometime, and in the future, Corey. I really wonder if the releases of games for Switch from a first party for their next gen and still PS4 Pro or even one series, not Series X, uh, Xbox One X kind of level of power. I wondered with the amount of games that Nintendo did release in a year, first party wise. I wonder with this new power that they have, could Nintendo still do that? Or do you think that their first party stuff releases will calm down
I don't
and
think their
everything?
releases will come down, because I mean I think we're already kind of seeing the transition in terms of development, right? Like I still think Zelda is probably the last like major title. I mean, obviously Super Mario Wonder is probably their tentpole game for the fall, right? But like in terms of like the production value, the 3D spaces, the massive undertaking that Zelda takes in like something like Mario
Yeah.
Odyssey. I mean, we talked about it before, but I think the development teams have really moved on, and a lot of these secondary. I think the last like proper Nintendo developed game, right, will be Mario Wonder, right? I'm sure, I'm sure they have like second party teams working on stuff, and like smaller teams working on like the remake of Mario RPG, right? That's not being done by, you know, the Zelda team or the proper Mario team, or you know what I mean. That's
Yes.
being made by someone else, right? And so, uh, and we're already seeing remakes next year too with Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and the Princess Peach game, as cute as it looks, it's definitely not a prop like a tentpole quadruple A experience like Zelda, right? So, um, I think we've already seen a lot of the top tier development teams move to the next console, right? Which is why I think the next console is launching with a Mario game, because we haven't seen anything from that team since 2017, and it'll be,
Oh yeah.
if the console comes out next fall, like people are predicting, it'll have been 7 years since we saw a game from them. So this game's gonna be massive, massive.
Yeah. Well, like the stuff that they told Ubisoft to wait, do a sequel, but do it on the next console or something, or wait. I
Yeah.
think Nintendo's probably doing the same thing. So,
Well,
but
we know we know Ubisoft is they need to get some games out because they're, you know. Anyways, oh, our next story, right? It's me.
yes.
So the next story, Excitebike. By the time you hear this, Excitebike 64 will have hit the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack on August 30th. The long-awaited sequel to the NES original takes many cues from the action games of the era, the action sports games of the era, giving players the ability to do tricks while racing, upgrade their stuff, etc. I think this is a welcome game to the service. I really liked Excitebike 64.
And so I never got to play it. So
Oh
I'm
man,
excited to play on
it.
Switch Online.
I mean, remember like especially in the PS2 era, like games like ATV Off Road Fury and motocross games and BMX games were
Hmm.
like really popular. Like obviously Tony Hawk and stuff like Dave Mirra's Pro BMX and stuff like that, like really kicked it off. But like the PS2 was like where every other game was this, right? Like, and so I think this game is underrated from that era standpoint. I really liked it.
It's it's so weird to think about sports and extreme sports for consoles in
Yeah.
general. Because if you look at it, Mario Kart is the only kind of like big sports game for Nintendo. I'm not talking about all the other Mario stuff, but like Mario Kart is big for Nintendo. Forza Horizon and maybe Motorsport, but really Horizon, since there's been more games of it, was for Xbox. MLB The Show is PlayStation. And if you look at past consoles, definitely for Nintendo, they were hitting all kinds of sports and stuff.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo had, Super Nintendo, well, even Nintendo, they had baseball. I think they had their own football game, but was Rad Racer Nintendo's? I
No,
know that was Square. I know that was
it's
Squaresoft.
Square.
Oh yeah, I know it was Square, but I didn't know if they made that game for Nintendo. But you had Punch Out for Nintendo. There's a skiing game you have for Nintendo and stuff. Like so, there are like games for in the NES and Super Nintendo and NCAA basketball. And I think NCAA basketball, and then Ken Griffey Jr. was like huge for Nintendo.
Yeah.
That was the baseball game. Even though you had triple play and stuff, but then you look at Sega. Sega was like the Genesis. That was your sports system because
Hmm.
you had Bulls versus Blazers. Um, you had Pat Robertson basketball. You had
I mean, Joe
Madden,
Montana football, Madden. There was an NCAA game. I think it's at some point. Hockey,
NHL.
right? Like NHL '94 is like you know, one of the top tier sports games of the era. Although I
Mm-hmm.
think that was on Super Nintendo at some point too. But yeah, I mean, sports games were really popular on Genesis, and Nintendo kind of needed I think Nintendo's response to that. I mean, I don't think they really cared because they had like Link to the Past and Super Metroid and Mario World, and
Yeah.
the hits of the Super Nintendo, right? And so Sega tried to, obviously tried a different strategy, and it worked for them for a minute until the Saturn. Uh, but yeah. I mean, I'm glad to see Excitebike back, and
Yeah.
I hope people check it out because it's really underrated.
Yeah. I do. I'm surprised that Exabyte even got a sequel and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's like
Well, there's Wii games too, Excite Truck and Excite Bots.
yes, that is true. But I think it's just Excitebike even Punch Out. You just couldn't believe that they even got sequels and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like Punch Out
Man, a
got
new
three
Punch Out game would
games,
be
and
awesome.
they
I
need to
hope
bring
I
that back.
hope I hope Nintendo does Punch Out HD. Just take the Wii version and give it a fresh coat of paint. You know,
The Punch Out on Wii is just like perfection. It's
dude, Punch Out on
so
Wii is
good.
amazing. Punch Out on Wii is awesome.
I still
I
got
need
my
an
copy.
HD. I need an HD version of that stat. All right, Ed, let's move on. So Fortnite's big Chapter 4 Season 4 update is out now. But the big draw of this season is the purchase You can purchase Ahsoka Tano from the Star Wars universe. Um, she, for those unaware, she is the star of the new hit Disney Plus show starring Rosario Dawson, and she's also, I think she's probably one of the main characters in Rebels. I didn't watch Rebels, so I don't know. And so she's coming to Fortnite, and Fortnite's no stranger to Star Wars characters. There's been, I think, like 10 or 12 Star Wars characters at this point. So, yeah, you can buy her at some point. I think you have to progress in the battle pass or something to get
Hmm.
her, but to unlock the ability to purchase her. But whatever, it's cool. I think Ahsoka's a cool character.
I really don't got nothing to say, but yeah, that's
Yeah, I know.
cool. I know
I was
that.
trying to fill the news, man. Just trying to fill the
Oh
news.
no, that's complete. I completely understand. I know the TV show has been a hit with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's really cool. Like my mom, she is watching, I think, Star Wars Rebels. Uh, in order to, because she wants to see the animated series of Asaka, and so she just like, and she can't watch it because she wouldn't know what's going on. So she decided to start watching Rebels. I
Yeah,
think that's
well,
cool.
I think Ahsoka, the show, the live action show, is being directed by the same guy who created Star Wars, who did the Clone Wars and Rebels, Dave Filoni, and they've kind of pitched Ahsoka as the fifth season of Star Wars Rebels, which was the last animated show that they did. So, I mean, here's the thing: people are like, "Oh, you got to watch Rebels to understand what's happening." But I watched the first two episodes; I know exactly what's happening. So I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's like little Easter eggs and nuances from Rebels that like you wouldn't get unless you watched it, right? But like, I I'm following it just fine. So, Soga's a cool character though. Rosario Dawson, perfection. Uh, all right. The last news story we
Um,
have here. What?
there's just some breaking news that
Uh,
I know people probably won't care about this, but the Double Dragon Events collection, or the Double Dragon collection, has been announced with a date of November 9th. And
great.
it's going to have, yeah, it's going to have Super Double Dragon, Double Dragon Events, Double Dragon 2 The Revenge, The Sacred Stones, that terrible game, and Double Dragon 4. So they're doing most of, um, oh, it looks like they're going to be having the arcade and some of the NES versions and everything. So,
No,
the reason,
no Double Dragon versus Battletoads. So fail.
mm-mm, nor the fighting game.
Yeah. Uh, all right, back to your regularly scheduled program. The last story on our news sheet here is Sonic Frontiers is getting a third and final free update. It's adding a bunch of playable characters, and I think there's new levels and stuff that they're adding. Let's see, what's the last thing here? I'm reading the article. I didn't really read the article because I don't really care about Sonic. But again, the Final Horizon update is the most exciting yet, promising a new story. So they're adding a new story to the game, new challenges and new playable characters. Amy and Tails and I think Knuckles are all playable at this point in this
Mm-hmm.
update. They have to face a massive Titan, um, and there's Sonic summons the Chaos Emeralds to become supersonic, ready to face off against the mysterious threat, then power up yet again as he races towards the Titan. So, yeah, people who like Sonic Frontiers, there's a new update, and it's free, which is nice to hear for once.
Yes.
Um, so that's all the news. I don't know if you have anything to say about Sonic Frontiers, Ed, but
I just probably need to reinstall it on my Xbox and just finish the whole game. Just beat it.
before we go to Pack Watch, Ed, there's a story here that I wanted to talk about real quick. Just
Mm-hmm.
really quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but PlayStation is they've announced the PlayStation Portal remote device. It was announced with a $199 price tag. Uh, the controversial device allows players to remote play their PlayStation 5 games, but does not allow cloud gaming via the PlayStation Plus Premium subscription model or local play of any kind. The device also lacks Bluetooth, meaning players cannot use wireless headsets unless they use one of the new compatible PlayStation branded headsets that are compatible with PlayStation Link. This device was kind of teased at the last showcase as Project Q. It's basically a DualShock or a DualSense controller sawed in half with an Android tablet in the middle. But all you can do is remote play PlayStation games. I don't know if that'll cut down on the latency that they're kind of promising. I know that PlayStation's been working on their own remote streaming tech. Uh, I'm really kind of confused at this device. I guess the price point makes sense because the DualSense is $75 and a decent Android tablet is $125, $150, right?
I'm trying to find out. I'm like, what's the purpose of this? What is it? So you
Did they not
it's
see the
only
Wii
going.
U happen?
Well, I think my question is that so remote play is games that you own on your PlayStation
You
5.
have so you have to launch it on your PlayStation 5 as a local file, right? So like if you're playing Horizon, you have to launch Horizon, right? And then you turn this thing on and it streams the local game on your PlayStation 5 to this device. It's
Okay.
basically a Wii U tablet in handheld mode.
So you only get limited games depending on how much space you have on your PlayStation 5 for games
Yeah,
that you
you
own.
can only play games that are installed on your PlayStation 5 on this device.
And I'm assuming that the games that you are playing, it has to be the digital version because
No, it
if
could be a
it's
disc
is the
version because it's remote
right,
play.
but
It's
if
streaming from the device. It's streaming. You could put a disc in, and right, as long as the game can run on your PlayStation 5, you can stream it to
mhm.
this tablet.
But if that's about but that was what I was trying to figure out. Like if you go on a trip and
No,
everything and you're
you can't play
connected
this.
and it's not connected, even if it's connected to Wi-Fi. So it has to stay in the house close to your PlayStation.
I I'm not 100% sure on that. I know that I
It
know.
wasn't that kind of like the Vita stuff with the remote play. People were
Mhm.
taking it on trips and
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same. I'm not 100% sure on this device. I'm pretty sure that your PlayStation has to be on. I think you have to be on the same network. I'm not 100% on that.
okay.
I only read like, what it has and doesn't have in this thing. Like there's no local play, there's no streaming Netflix on it. There's no, you know what I mean? There's nothing like that.
There's
I'm
right.
pretty sure you have to be connected to the same network to remote play this. Although I on Xbox at least like remote play can work over wireless network as long as you or over like if you're like in the car with cloud gaming
yeah.
or remote play, but using the remote play function, uh, it technically works. It's not great, but I don't know if this has that type of functionality or not. But
I'm gonna need a state of play to get this all broken down
well,
because
there's a rumor that there's another PlayStation showcase coming, and this will be a decent chunk of it, showing how it kind of works. Because right now
yeah.
it's only a blog post, right? Because the device was leaked, so it's a blog post. But I'm sure they want to, and I think some people went hands on with it, but
Was it was it leaked because it was called Project Q or
no, it was somebody on Twitter had some sort of version of this device and was showing it off, and uh, I
okay?
don't know if it was real or not, but it must have been real because they released a blog post within 2 days of this leak. So I don't know. I know a lot of people played with it and said it worked pretty well, but also they were in a Sony controlled environment with, everything. All the devices were connected to probably a very great enterprise level internet connection, and it wasn't like anybody was streaming Netflix or anything on another device. Like, if
Right.
you want to use it in your home, I mean, think of how many devices you have that are connected to the internet. Like, I can see 10 things in this office right now that are connected to the internet. My phone, my iPad, 2 Xboxes, a PlayStation, a Switch,
We
two,
recording
two
on. We
yeah,
recording on.
2 computers. Like, it's like there's, and my wife's computer's over there. There's a ton of things connected to my, like, how's it going to work in that type of situation? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and I know we're gonna move on to our next
Mhm.
session. I just feel like anyone who's gonna get the benefit out of this is probably the people who own the digital PS5 because you don't really have to
That
worry
doesn't
about
matter. Whichever
this.
PlayStation you have doesn't matter.
Well, that's the thing about it. I was just wondering with the remote play, does it have to if you don't have the digital version of a game in this physical, does that
Yes,
disc have to be in the system?
as long as your disc is in the PlayStation, you can remote play it.
Because that means that you got to get up, take the disc out, put that disc out of the game that you want, and then switch it to remote play.
No, you press the button on the device. You put the disc in the PlayStation, and then you press the button on the device to remote play.
Right, but if you want to play different games, you got to keep switching the disc.
Yeah,
That's what
but
I'm
that's how
saying.
consoles work anyway. If you buy physical, look at the physical collector complaining about discs.
No, that's why I said anyone who's benefiting off of this is getting the digital version because you don't have to go back and forth switching discs or anything. You can just pick your game
Yeah.
and bam, keep
Well,
switching games and stuff. Do the remote play. Is
yeah. I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
if you're playing physical games, you're going to need to switch the disc to play the games. I mean, that's just.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how gaming's worked for 40 years, right? I mean,
Well, I think that's why everybody's like confusing of the system and with this remote play for anyone who's getting it, I just feel like it's better if you have the digital
it's more
version of
convenient.
PS5 if you get it.
It's definitely
Yeah.
more convenient. But uh, whatever.
But
I'm not interested. I mean, also, like, how many other devices do you have that it can stream to, right? Like, if you have even not counting your phone, right? I mean, or an iPad, like, you have your laptop, you might have a Steam Deck, you might have a ROG Ally, you might have, some kind of crappy Android tablet that you only use for stuff like this. Like, there's 1,000 other ways that's either cheaper or has way more functionality. And I mean, Stephanie and I were talking the other day about it, and I was like, look, you already have a phone and Steam Deck. That you don't need this. Just buy a cheap controller for something. Like I have a Backbone for my phone and it works fine, right? I mean,
mhm.
I don't know. I don't know who this is for, except for the hardcore PlayStation faithful, right? I mean, I just really
See,
don't know who this is for, other than, like,
that literally has become a problem because even the hardcore faithful, they don't know what they're going to do with the system.
well, they'll
Like
figure it out.
people just are confused.
I mean, they'll figure it out, or they won't buy one. That's, like I always say, if you have the money and you want it, you can buy it. But if you don't like it, then you either trade it in or put it in a drawer and forget about it for 20 years until you move or clean your house out or something. So, all right, we're moving on to Pack Watch. I'm tired of talking about this thing.
Yeah.
It was just the most interesting news of the week, other than the Baldur's Gate Series S thing, but we can save that for next week. So Pack Watch, here are the major upcoming releases coming to Nintendo Switch. On 9/5, we're getting Chants of Sennaar. Legend says that one day a traveler will reunite the peoples of the tower who are unable to communicate with each other, observe, listen, and decipher ancient languages in a fascinating universe inspired by the myth of Babel. Also on 9.5, we're getting Rune Factory 5 Special. Team up with townsfolk and embark on a grand adventure to unravel the mysteries befalling the land, embracing your inner power to halt the descent into chaos. That was a farming game. Venture into the vast, vibrant wilderness with friends from Rigbarth. Wow, really stretching it there. By your side to unlock powerful and stylish link attacks and encourage teamwork and strategy.
Yeah, it's farming and action RPG.
Mm, okay. I just thought it was like Harvest Moon or something.
Yeah, it has
Uh,
those elements, but yeah.
On 9.8, we're getting NBA 2K24. Grab your squad and experience the past, present, and future of hoops culture in NBA 2K24. Enjoy loads of pure, authentic action and limitless personalized my player options in my career. Collect an all-impressive array of legends and build your perfect lineup in my team. Great. Sounds just like every other NBA game.
Yep.
Very good though. I really like those games, man. I was thinking about getting NBA this year because Madden. Did you see Madden scores, by the way?
No.
Game Informer gave it a 6.75,
Oh,
and IGN gave it a pretty low score too. Um, so that I thought that was pretty funny.
Madden. I didn't even know that Madden even got announced. Like got a release date announced.
Yeah,
Like I haven't seen anything, and I didn't know that the reviews dropped. Like it really feels like the hype and anticipation for a Madden game has really just died. Like,
yeah. I mean, the Madden people. I mean, the Madden people will buy Madden, right? And that's kind of. I think that's who they're catering to at this point. But yeah, Madden. To me, Madden hasn't been good in a very long time. Uh, so
but I'll be looking at the reviews soon for it.
yeah, it's weird, man. Madden just kind of went all over the
Fell
place.
off.
Yeah. And then the last game coming by the time we record next is Super Bomberman R2, which Super Bomberman R at the launch of Switch was really good. Join Bomberman and the
Yeah,
gang with their new friends, the Elons, as they work together to protect the universe from a new threat. New and returning battle modes, including Castle, Battle 64, and Level Editor, where players can build, test, and share their stages with the world. Probably not on Switch.
I
I mean,
I yeah, I need to see a trailer of this game because I didn't even know they were doing it.
yeah. I mean, it was announced like 2 years ago. I thought it was out
Oh,
already.
it's
Uh,
Konami.
Fair. Back to you, Ed.
Well, everybody, it's time for question block. We got 3 questions, and our first one comes from the one true James via Discord. Where do you want to see Pikmin go from here? Um, so
I
I
mean,
think they tried a different Pikmin on the 3DS. That one. And then I know they tried it with their phone and stuff. Um, I think right now I think I would love to see Pikmin go in a dungeon kind of not role playing, but mixing what they did with 4. With the dungeon stuff. I really feel like that could probably be a game itself in like a backyard or something. Like you can have a Pikmin that kind of feels a little bit like a Zelda game. Um, but yeah, that's what I could think of. If if you do like dungeon kind of underground stuff, that's where you'll get your new Pikmin, and that's kind of how Pikmin 4 is, and so that's where that Zelda kind of feel come for it. So I think you know if Miyamoto and the team decide to do Pikmin 5, um, of course, it'll probably be like on another planet, something like Earth. Uh, but I kind of would love to see like a dungeon, not a dungeon crawling, but a dungeon filled like Zelda s Pikmin game and stuff.
Yeah,
It still keep the gameplay ideas of Pikmin.
yeah. I don't really know where I want Pikmin to go, man. I miss when Pikmin was like super simple. And granted, I haven't played Pikmin 4 yet, um, and I would really like to soon. But I feel like when Pikmin is simpler, it's better. Like
Mhm.
Pikmin 1 is like an all timer for me, and I think they've progressively gotten worse. Not that they're bad games by any stretch, but just like I mean, Pikmin 3, man, for me was like having three protagonists and trying to split your Pikmin up over the course of the game just was like I can't do this. I'm done. Right? I realize that it requires a lot of strategy and
Multitasking.
yeah and multitasking, and my dumb brain just can't handle that. And so I'm glad Pikmin 4 went back to the single protagonist. But now I'm thinking I'm almost thinking there's too many Pikmin now, like too many variants of Pikmin. So I'm not sure, man. I don't know where I really want them to go. I just want. I mean, a good game, like a good game, it doesn't matter. A good game is always good, right? So I don't know. I don't want the world to be bigger. I really don't know, man. Uh, I can't tell you. I kind of want it to stay the same. Um,
Hmm.
really, I just want it to be simpler. So uh,
Understandable. That's understandable.
yeah. Also shorter, man. I hear Pikmin 4 is like really long.
When if you're trying to collect everything, it is long. But once you kind of meet certain goals and stuff, it's not too long of a game and stuff.
Yeah.
So, um, we're gonna go to our next question though. Safi from Lore Together, do check them out. Um, Via Discord asks if you could be a Pikmin, which one would you be? Uh, you know what? If I literally was a Pikmin, I would have to go with the blue.
Yeah, I was gonna say blue too because I really like to swim, and the other Pikmin can't swim. So
Pretty much, and a lot of stuff does happen in in water. I can't swim, and everything, but that's why would love to be the blue Pikmin, just to swim and go underwater and stuff.
it's a
So,
good time.
yes. Our final question comes from Green Ranger 99 via YouTube, and he asks, "What is the game you are most excited for Switch for the rest of the year?"
For Switch, I mean it's Super Mario
Yes.
Wonder for me. I mean I've already expressed my love for 2D Mario games and how
Mm.
I think 2D Mario is the best Mario. I don't really care for 3D platformers in general, just because like the sense of the perspective is always like I don't have a great sense of depth of field a lot of the times in platformers, and so 3D games are really difficult, and I think that's why I really love uh, 3D World, because it still gives you that sense of a 2D game, and the levels are very small when it is like obviously the 3D spaces are there, but the 3D spaces are small enough to like not challenge my ability to judge distance. Uh, so that's my choice. I really love 2D Mario games, man. I Maybe that's what I'll do this weekend. Maybe I'll finish Mario 3D World and then maybe jump into Super Mario Brothers U,
Mm.
because I want
Say
I need to get my 2D Mario skills up, Ed. You know what I mean? I need to get them up. I need to you know really really get it going.
Yeah, same thing with me. It's gonna be Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I want to see like the graphics and like the level design is so impressive, and the more detailed animations that Mario had. Plus, I want to hear the new Mario voice and see who it is. It's not Ben Starr, everybody from Final Fantasy.
I'm
So
I wonder if they're gonna announce anything or if they're just gonna be like, "Yep, there it is." You know?
I think if they do a Nintendo Direct, they will. Other than that, someone probably will announce it after the game comes out.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
I'm
uh,
I'm
uh
interested in that though. I want to know. I
yeah,
want to know.
um, because I know I'm not getting Demon X Machina 2 this year, since they only just announced it. Um, so like pretty much right now, it is going to be Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Um, for me also. Uh, and I think until we get an indie direct to see what indie games is also coming to Switch, if they release this year, I may have something more to add. The Batman trilogy, I don't. I think that's supposed to be out this year. I'm intrigued. I'm definitely am going to pick it up. Because I would be crazy not to have that on Switch. And everything. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know if
and pretty much
I thought about getting that, but I don't know if I'm going to.
it to me it's just something to have
Yeah,
in a
I mean, I
sense,
have.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I have that game in like three separate spots, and like I feel like I really feel like that it would have been better to come out like 2 or 3 years ago at this point. Um,
Understandable, yeah.
but
So, but yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it.
yeah.
Uh, any final thoughts for the episode, Corey?
Um, I mean, I just I really need to like get back in the groove of things on Switch stuff. I feel like I've been neglecting the console for a while. Outside Zelda because like Fire Emblem really didn't do it to me. Do it
Mm-hmm.
do it for me. Uh, Bayonetta didn't really do any. I mean, I didn't play Bayonetta the Origins game.
I That's what I need to pop in and start because that demo's so good.
Yeah, I didn't play Octopath Traveler 2. What was
So
the
good.
April game?
Advance Wars.
Yeah, I didn't play Advance Wars, and Zelda's really been the main thing for Switch for me this year, aside from the occasional
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart. I haven't played Pikmin 4. Um, so yeah, I just feel like this. I've just been neglecting the Switch. Also, like I don't know, man. I feel bad because I love it so much, but like also like things have just been really busy with content, like altering our content and like trying to get the content out on a schedule. And honestly, book club stuff like it requires me to play other games, and it's been a I gotta be honest. The last couple of years have just been really hard to try to keep up with games. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of it. I don't. I mean, it's not really a final thought, but that I was just on my mind. So
Uh, for me, final thought. Um, Definitely for this episode, like I think I just need to be more informed about PlayStation. Um, you know, to see what their things is. There is going to be Tokyo Game Show coming in September because Sega and Atlas is going to be having a showcase on the 21st,
mhm.
and I don't know what time it is, but definitely the games that has been announced, they're going to be showcasing and stuff. And I'm excited to see if there is going to be something for Switch that has not been announced yet because one of my friends is just like he wants Shining Force to come back.
Mm.
And if Shining
Well, you
Force
said
get
Sega and Atlas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have something to say when you're done. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if Sega's showing stuff off, I wonder if this is the time we get Yakuza game.
Oh, the one that they showed at around the summer direct stuff. Yeah, I think they're going to do some. They're going to have
Well,
some updates and stuff.
I'm saying like like one of the Kiwami games or Zero for Switch, like the older games.
No, Sega decided not to bring none of the Yakuza or like a Dragon games to
They
Nintendo.
say that. I'm just thinking out
Yeah,
loud.
they're not going to do it. They're going to show the new like a Dragon game, give more updates, but bringing it to Switch, like surprisingly, it's a right now it's just a PlayStation and Xbox game for the series. Like they could make money on Nintendo, but but the director still has that idea that Nintendo's product is still for kids.
Well,
So
obviously he hasn't explored
wow.
the eShop in a while because there's a lot of.
There's a hentai game on there. In fact, the name of the game is called Hentai Stories or something like that. Like,
Yeah, there's hentai wars. There's hentai stories. This guy's got to get with the times. There's summertime girlfriend. Just saying, it's
yeah,
pretty
and
adult.
mm, so it's Sega said they tried to do it with the Wii U version, but I'm like, you brought it to Japan only. You
Yeah.
didn't bring it to anywhere else where this game is successful. So sadly, we probably won't get anything. We're hopefully. I would be surprised if Sega do announce some more games for the Sega Genesis for Switch Online. Um, maybe
You don't think that would be a Nintendo Direct?
if the okay, so everybody, it's rumored that there's a Nintendo Direct in September. Um, Sega has been dropping stuff on their Twitter feed, and I think Nintendo has also done it. I think Nintendo may control that message.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it is a possibility that maybe Sega announced something during the week before the presentation comes, saying that we got these games also coming, for Switch and everything. Because there's still some more Sega Genesis games that could be coming out. Um, I literally will be shocked because I feel like a lot of this stuff is gonna come for PlayStation and for Xbox. Definitely more Xbox, I think, because of their good partnership.
Yeah.
But I think Sega probably has something. If I see a Tokyo Mirage Session 2 come out of nowhere, I'm going to just I'm going to be like, I know you're asleep and I will pay for you to get up to record to me because I need to talk to you about why there's a Tokyo Mirage Session 2. Uh and it has different Fire Emblem characters, and it got our girl Shaz from Fire Emblem uh Three
Three
Hopes.
Hopes.
Yeah. Like, oh, she shows up in the Tokyo Mirage Session 2. Like, come on, Nintendo. Uh but yeah, I just read the news story, so that's my final thought. Everybody, be looking out for Sega and Atlas and what they're going to be bringing, not only to Japan, but maybe something that's going to be worldwide. And if they do bring Shining Force or even Panzer Dragoon or whatever to Switch,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's going to be a big, heavy news story because everybody literally, some people literally want a new Shining Force game. Now, before we end it, I still have a feeling if we get Fantasy Star 5, I think that's going to be an Xbox exclusive. I would be shocked if
Keep wishing.
I
First of all, you said Phantasy Star 5, which we're not getting. Second of all, you said Xbox exclusive, which possibly a timed exclusive, but not. Here's the thing, though.
I
New Genesis, Phantasy Star New Genesis is so popular, and
mhm.
I mean, it's not a very good MMO from what I hear, but it's very popular, and I that kind of more space odyssey style Phantasy Star I think is more appealing than classic Phantasy Star. Although I do like classic Phantasy Star, but
I mean, this is Sega. This is Sega. And yeah, we probably
yeah,
won't
who
get
knows?
and see this is the problem that's gonna be because it is Tokyo Game Show and Microsoft is not doing well in that country.
I know, but they said they're gonna have a huge presence there.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so. But
Maybe.
everybody, that's gonna be it. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
Nope, I don't have anything.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to
No,
say.
I was gonna say maybe I stopped saying it because I realized how stupid it sounded. But I know the rumor is that Bandai Namco is making Killer Instinct, and I wonder if they would show it off there because they just updated Killer Instinct with the 10th anniversary edition for Series
Mm.
X and S. Also, they're obviously we talked about their relationship with Sega, but also the Square Enix possibilities of maybe I doubt. Although maybe this would maybe be good publicity for them, but I doubt 7 Remake or 16 would be announced there,
Mm-hmm.
especially 16 because their 6-month exclusivity window is still there and they can't talk about any other platforms right now. But
Yeah.
a 7 Remake announcement for Xbox would be awesome to see. But I think this is the place where you see stuff like the Pixel remasters, maybe Triangle Strategy, maybe Octopath Traveler 2 maybe get announced for Xbox from Square Enix. Who knows? But and also
Uh,
Switch stuff. I don't know. Nintendo said they were going to have a big presence at Gamescom, and they brought Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 3, Zelda, and Pikmin 4. So, Nintendo, man. You never know.
I think they, I think they're getting ready for their um their next thing because that's what was
Well,
weird. I'm like,
their summer thing in Seattle is soon, right?
yeah, that's coming soon next month. So I feel like there's going to be more. And see, I was saying with Nintendo being at Gamescom, I really thought we was getting that Metro Prime 4 trailer this week or last
Mm.
week and stuff because it was just weird. I'm like, yeah, Nintendo said they was going to be there, but I'm like, that would have been some big news for it. But I think because Microsoft was there, I think Nintendo probably realized what Microsoft was doing, and they decided to hold back and stuff, and just wait. Um, don't know if that's true or not, so it's just pretty much alleged. But Gamescom really belonged to Microsoft. With Starfield and all of the stuff that
Stalker
we've been,
was there. Forza was
yeah,
there in some capacity. Towerborn was really big there for Xbox.
yeah. So like, Gamescom was a really big thing for Microsoft, and I think they really needed that space compared to what Nintendo needed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is what it is. But everybody, that's gonna be it for Nintendo Pow Block. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Goodbye.
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/bossrushmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Deering, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.